Peace, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Soli, the spiritual advisor. And, here on my channel, every video I create is dedicated to the expansion of your awareness. Now, today I have back my beautiful friend, Crystal, and her counterpart, Nick. So in this, video, we will be discussing holotropic healing, plant healing, medicine healing, and in a sense, like, kind of Eastern healing, I guess you can kind of say. We'll be talking about medical astrology and so on and so forth. But yeah, welcome you guys. Welcome.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So
Yep.
so I guess we can start by telling you guys by telling me or us a little bit about yourself. Like your healing journey and how it began. I guess we can kind of say. Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yep. So, yeah, how it began. Well, mine began with entheogens, and then that just connected me to the Akashic records or something like that. And I just knew all the stuff existed during those experiences. And then I went and found it. I found it through Santo Bonacci's channel,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is all the stuff I've been thinking during these experiences. And, yeah, that started it.
So what? Oh, wait. I just want to know what exactly are antigens? Pathogens or antigens?
Oh, entheogens.
Oh, entheogens.
Entheogen mushrooms, psychedelics.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Crystal?
Yeah. Well, I guess as far as my journey on becoming more aware of plants, like I was always like really connected with the earth even as a kid. I grew up in the country and on a farm and gardening and farming and stuff like that. And then as I grew older, I realized that like for instance, we were talking about how Virgo rules the digestion, right? The intestines. And it also rules plant kingdom. And so we are meant as humans to be putting plants into our bodies because they're like interrelated that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense, and I think that's a very interesting, perspective you have there, and yeah, that really hit a nail. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and then I just like had that like knowing, anyways, that to be consuming plants was the best for myself. I know that that's not for everybody, but yeah. And I gardened a lot, and then we got together, and it just expanded from there. As far as my journey with that, and then I started studying astrology a lot more since we got together 3 years ago.
Yeah. That's really cool. So in regards to astrology, would you say that you are well versed on plant? I forget the name exactly, but like plant astrology.
Yeah, like we have started doing these health expeditions where we bring astrology and jewelry to the people, like out in like booths. Yeah, I started making these little rings.
This is for Capricorn. It's got Capricorn's cell salt in it. So they can wear the mineral and take the mineral for your signs.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' experience, with cell salts?
Yeah. We've been taking them for 3 years on and off, and within the last year we've been taking them regularly, and they are incredible. They make your skin super soft, your eyes clear, your mind clear. Yeah, nothing but good things to say about them. Yeah.
Okay,
But
interesting.
so as I was saying, so the plants are related to each planet because it's basically the same word, right? And so I made these lava bracelets. They need help. Like Nick will read the chart, and then um, he'll like say they need like Capricorn.
Yeah, like this one. But it'd be in a bracelet or a necklace or a pendant.
Yep, and then we put the essential oil, the plant essential oil on the bracelet.
On the lava ones.
Yeah. So we've like syncretized it all together. It's kind of cool.
But yeah, as far as knowing all the plants to planets, I'd like to know more about that. Sage Popham does that school in Oregon. He's probably got some pretty good information. And then I'd like to go to India and bring back a bunch of really good information to add.
Yeah. So I can show you like just a minute. I'll grab them.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. I think that's really powerful as well, because like what you're doing is you're technically infusing all of these energies that are connected to, like, I feel like what is happening when you do all these things in a sense is like, because the thing about healing is a lot of people don't realize this, but like the healers, we don't precisely heal people, but we just in a sense create the perfect environment to heal them. And I feel like in regards to the bracelets you guys make, they in a sense help that person really really tap into that energy within them. And I really feel like we all heal differently. Like a Capricorn heals more differently from a Gemini, or so on and so forth. But I was also wondering if you guys know anything about like the body types. I forget exactly what the science is, but like how we all have like different body types and
Oh yeah.
certain,
Is it
yeah,
Ayurveda?
yeah,
Ayurveda?
yeah,
Yeah.
Ayurveda, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Judith Hill wrote a book on that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like super versed on. There's three of them, right? There's Kappa, Pitta, and one more.
Is that the humors with body types?
Those are the body types. It's like fire.
Oh.
I can't remember how they are, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the essential oils, anyways. So, for instance, cedar, and then we have, you can't really see it, but Jupiter, the symbol Jupiter on there, because like cedar is used in a lot of like healing ceremonies and spirituality, and Sagittarius is connected to Jupiter and spirituality. So
that was one connection we had. We don't know for sure yet, but we're getting better.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
let's see, what else do we have? Oh,
So
cinnamon. We have Mars because it's like hot and dry. So
but
yeah.
I was gonna say, in regards to Jupiter, like, would you say that it's Sagittarius or Pisces that's more like connected to spirituality? Because with me, I feel like the thing, like, yes, of course, Sagittarius and Pisces, they're both really spiritual, but like, I feel like the thing about Sagittarius is it's more of like the expression of spirituality. Meanwhile, Pisces is more of like the workings of like spirituality. So what I mean is it's like one is introverted and one is extroverted, if that makes sense. But I feel like Pisces would be in a sense more
Yeah,
spiritual because of its connection, to Neptune and so on and so forth.
true. Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting that they both have a connection to Jupiter too.
They're both mutable too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I've thought of that too. Like,
They're
what
spiritual.
one is more considered more spiritual? Because you think like Sagittarius is almost more on like the religious side. Like it can be like religion and more like and philosophy and stuff like that.
One's spiritual fire and one's spiritual water. So that would
Yeah.
be the differences.
Mm.
Like Pisces is spiritual psychology. It's water is psychology. And then I guess fire is religion. Or something like that.
Yeah. So why is it that you guys, that you guys came, or like just pondered upon the thought of like, how come, the way Western medicine is the way it is, and like, what's going on there?
It's like an experiment. It's like the US was owned by these just demented people, and they're using us as like a crop.
Yeah, that's crazy you say that, right? Because there's this movie, it's called, because they talk to us through movies, they tell us everything through movies, but
Yeah,
we
for
don't we
sure.
don't we don't we don't think so we don't catch the messages. But there's this movie, right? It's called Jupiter Ascending. I'm not sure if you guys have seen
Oh
it.
yeah. We tried
Yeah,
Yeah,
watching it.
yeah. I don't remember it though.
Yeah, it was kind of just
uh
on in the background.
Yeah.
It's good though.
but yeah, so in Jupiter Ascending, it's technically a sci-fi movie, I guess you can say, and the theme was like there's this girl, her name is Jupiter, and she starts awaking up, hence ascending, and then when she starts awakening, she in a sense, there's this alien that comes to get her, but he's a human, right? And he comes to get her, and then he takes her to Mars, and then while they're at Mars, the king and queen, they explain to her how like she, from a genetic perspective, she has like the genes of their mother, because they're telling how genes were spiritual, and how she was like the reincarnation of their mother, and she kind of attained this royalty and things of that nature. And then they were kind of explaining to her how like they kind of used Earth as a farm, like it's how they in a sense attain immortality, and they were I forget exactly the details, but they're doing something with the DNA, and like kind of utilizing it for their own benefit, if this makes sense. And
Mhm.
it's really interesting, because they go on to tell her like how they kind of have created the system with like movies, holidays. They kind of distract you, so then you think that you have a purpose in living, but they're harvesting you slowly. And I was just like, damn, yeah, like that's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
When are they gonna stop?
Well, it's like that's actually, I guess you can say, I'm not gonna say simple, but like I really feel like it all technically began with the age of Pisces, because we are stuck in a deep
Yeah.
illusion. Everyone knows this, and it's like within the age of Pisces, we all know that this was in a sense when religion came about, Christianity specifically. This is why they have all the fish symbology. And they kind of created
Jupiter.
all of, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly, all of these illusions, and all of these like illusionary perceptions. And I feel like the thing about Pisces is they can be in a sense, because they're like they like fantasizing, so it's like someone can sell you
Yeah.
something and you believe it, and this is kind of in a sense what we are in. We have been sold a big
Yeah.
lie, and we are all believing it, but we are moving into the age of Aquarius, the golden age. Yeah, the age of Aquarius, the golden age,
True.
and we as a
True.
vibration are moving into the fifth dimension. In a sense, humans, we are now like, I guess you can kind of say like fourth dimensional, but it's like we're just barely getting there, in a sense. And this is why in this time we are able to manifest faster than before, if you get what I mean. um
Yeah.
but yeah.
Ormus is fifth dimensional, and Ormus is becoming popular.
Mm-hmm.
And then that band called the Fifth Dimension sings the Aquarius song.
The dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
isn't
Fifth
that
Dimension
but
sings that.
isn't that song like old though, like from the 90s or
Yeah.
something?
It's from
Yeah.
the 60s. It's from like
Oh,
the 60s, and that was when the Age of Aquarius began in 62. February 5th, 1962.
It just takes a while to ramp up into it. So it's like 2,000 years an age or whatever. So it's just the
2000
beginning.
years.
Yeah.
And then
Isn't
the
it?
cusp is 50 years long.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the beginning of the cusp, right? In
Yeah,
62.
yeah, and then we're starting at the ending of the age of Aquarius, which is an anaretic degree ruled by Saturn, which is Satan. So the beginning of the age of Aquarius won't be as good because we start at the end of the sign because it goes backwards.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the other day.
So it's
Yeah.
only
Okay.
going to get better.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. But yeah. So I think that's really interesting. Because I didn't even think about it. I was thinking like, so would you say that from 1960 to around now, we in a sense have been traveling through the cusp?
62 to 2012 was the cusp.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense because, well, I'm aware that the energy is gonna get super real. I'm not sure when. I want to say next year. Yeah, next year, right? 2021, when
Yeah.
Saturn goes into Aquarius. But yeah, I
Yeah,
guess for the yeah for yeah, I guess
March
I'll just say that.
23rd. March 23rd of this year, Saturn goes into Aquarius. So in like
Yeah,
30 days.
yeah, and
I feel like that'll be
you said
really
you
good.
said 30 days.
From now, yeah, I think.
Oh, it goes into Aquarius, but doesn't it like regress? Is
Oh,
it is
Time
isn't it
yeah,
like
yeah, for a long time.
yeah?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we didn't count that, I guess.
Yeah, but it should mean something when it touches that first degree of Aquarius. Something good
it's
should
gonna be
happen.
like a taste, like we're gonna
Yeah,
like we're
Yeah.
really gonna be at like the peak of awakening, if you get what I mean. And it's gonna be like it's kind of like in a way like I don't even know how to put it, but it's like I don't want to say a little clue, but it's gonna be like there's gonna be a little peak, and like the ones who see it, which is gonna be a majority, are gonna be amped up, if you get what I mean.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Maybe it'll wake some people up too. There's so much information out there. It amazes me that people still don't know.
Yeah, it's like in this age of information, like ignorance is no longer an excuse. Like I didn't know when you have like, oh, I
Mhm.
don't even have my phone on me, but like now we literally have so much information at the tip of our hands, and it's insane. And I'm just so fucking blessed, because I take advantage of this and I just learn so much, and I'm like, yo, this is insane. And like
Mhm.
it's just so much, and I really feel like a lot of us are living in such an outdated old world, if you get what I mean. Like
Yeah,
because there's this
little
new
black
world, this
screen tablets.
yeah.
Everyone's got a little tablet they can go into.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that
interesting that it's called a tablet because back like in the olden days, like that's what the little rock things were called that they wrote on, like carved into the tablets. They were called. Weird. Like what were they made
so
of? Alabaster or whatever. Like the soft
so
rock.
yeah, that's that's interesting. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's like to a degree, I guess you can kind of say they were using the tablets to kind of program the masses, like these are the rules and you will follow them, because it's like that's the thing about word, like animals are free because they don't have words, they don't have a language, and that's the thing about language and words. It's in a sense a concept, or it's like a structure of the mind, and the thing about the mind is it is structure. And it's like when you start using these structures and things of that nature, it's like when you truly start to, in a sense, entrap yourself, because like for example, when you get into like you really get deep into spirituality or whatever, and you're in a sense starting to you're in a sense starting to tap into like the realms, the subtle realms, you in a sense are advised to let go of labels, right? And just see something and like see what it is, not the label of it, and that's kind of difficult, if you get what I mean. Like I can't just look at my laptop and be like, see it for what it is, because I think it's a laptop. It can be so much more, but I think it's a laptop, if you get what I mean. And since this is kind of like the structured system we are living in because of like our idea, because another thing I like to say is you are truly never let down by life, but by the expectations of life, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a lot of strong Uranus in your chart, or do you have any Aquarius?
Oh yes, but can I first ask why you ask? But yes,
Oh,
I do.
because you're saying you use the internet a lot, so that's just what popped in my head. Like, where's your Uranus?
So
Because Uranus is internet.
yeah. So I actually have. Oh, that's insane. Oh, you actually said Uranus, but I have Aquarius in the 6th house, and I work online. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I have,
rituals.
yeah. So I have let me see. I have my Neptune and my Uranus, and Aquarius, right? But I have my
Oh,
Sun,
cool.
Moon, yeah. But I have my Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn in Gemini. So so it's like with me,
Time.
it's a personal connection between Uranus, the outer planets, and the inner planets because they're aspecting my chart. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Shining Aquarius.
Yeah,
Too.
Yeah.
trying.
Also, I was thinking earlier, Age of Pisces rules institutions too, and there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Schools. Everyone's in a school.
Yeah. Prisons. A lot of like mental health institutions. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a cool thing to talk about because you can just say goodbye to all those old things. And
Yeah. So before we go on, I just want to say that
what's that?
before we go on, I just also want to say that yes, we are in a sense the theme here is health, but we just plan to build, right? We plan to in a sense go, because like it's funny because we started talking about health and now we're so deep. I mean it's cool, but yeah, I just wanted to let people know that because they may be confused. Like I thought we were talking about health. But yeah, so I'm gonna say, would you say that has, with institutions, prisons, would you agree that, in a sense, that's connected to, it's connected to the 12th house?
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
It's kind of cutting out a little. Oh, let me stop recording.
But yeah, because, well, I know that, the houses, in a sense, are all connected, right? And I know that the elements of the houses, I guess you can say, and I'm aware that, Scorpio rules, like the 8th house rules prisons and things of that nature, right? So I would assume that like the 12th house, in a sense, to a degree, like rules imprisonment of the mind. Like, if you get what I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
it deals, with the unconscious mind in a sense. It's also a karmic house as well, and it's like all karma deals with something that's within our soul, that's ingrained within our soul, and you access your soul through the unconscious mind. So I guess I just kind of made that connection.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. What
so
else?
yeah, so I guess my next question would be, like, what is your guys' perception on cancer, right?
Like the sign?
No, oh,
Or the
no,
disease.
I mean like the disease.
Since I said that,
Yeah.
I asked Santos a long time ago what the connection was, and he said cancer, the disease is called cancer because it's the biggest money maker. And then in astrology, cancer is the monetary sign. So it's a business. It's a huge financial
What
business.
the heck?
And it's
Whoa.
extreme too.
Yeah, and then what about the
Dang.
moon?
Yeah, and the moon rules cancer and the moon rules money.
Yeah.
And then breast cancer, because the moon is the breast.
Cancer rules the breasts
Yeah,
too.
or yeah, the sun. Yeah, cancer rules the breast,
Both.
and that's the biggest money maker.
Breast cancer. They even got breast cancer awareness ribbons on like cancer-causing foods.
Right. I forget the machines, what the machines are called, but you know those machines that, in a sense, women like they use to like, in a sense, for the
Mammograms.
cancer checkups. Yeah, the anagram. What was it called? Yeah, you know
Ma-
those machines. Yeah.
Mammogram, because the word mom is in mammogram. And then there's the mammary glands in your breasts.
Dang.
The mummy
But yeah,
glands.
even those cause cancer, right? So it's like you don't have cancer and you'd go for a checkup, and then you do it like, let's say 5 times, and you end up with cancer. I'm just like, what is going on? But yeah, you know,
Wow. And they're so rude to us.
right. And it's like,
Yeah, that's why it's so important not to like go into those.
And then if you don't know,
places.
which a lot of people don't, they'll be like, all right, 30 grand to get your breast cancer fixed. You have breast cancer, and then you'll never get it fixed. You'll just die because they'll keep giving you things that just kill you more.
exactly, like, it's a fact that chemotherapy literally kills cells, right? That's one. Like, they tell you, oh yeah, this is gonna kill cells. Like, it's not even targeted, you know. But on top of that, it's like, it's in a sense moronic, because it's like, it literally weakens your immune system, right? And that's the body's defense system, you know. And that's I guess one of the biggest splits between you know, allotropic and holotropic medicine, because holotropic medicine, in a sense, they kind of use external sources like, you know, pills, chemicals, and all of these things to treat you, right? Whereas holotropic medicine uses, like, you know, organic food, or like, you know, just plant medicine, that in a sense is gonna
Spring
like,
water.
yeah, exactly, all of those things, you know, anything that's natural, I guess, in a sense you can say, that's gonna in actuality strengthen your defense system, right? Meanwhile, literally, allotropic medicine is weakening you, but it's suppressing you also. It's like they're creating zombies, you know, like the Walking Dead.
For sure.
Technically.
Yeah.
In your face every day. You see like 10 people go out and you see like people are all on 6 medications, all slowly killing them.
Exactly. And I even think about this, right? Like, cause me, you know, I try and I be as healthy as I possibly can, and I forget the name of it. It's just like artificial sugar sweetener that's like, I forget. I think
aspartame.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, right?
Yep.
And that is so disturbing to me, because I know it's in everything, you know, and it's like, and it's insane, because I don't know, it's just crazy, because it's just so bad for you, right? But it's in everything, and it's like,
Yeah. And not only that, I just learned that I'd never looked at baby formula ingredients before, because I was a breastfeeding mom.
For infants.
Yeah, for infants. And it's the main first ingredient is corn syrup.
Yeah, it's all corn syrup with a bunch of other crap.
Yeah. It's like, and they're feeding these newborn babies this. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, you see, the thing is, the powers that be are the ones in control of this. They're not ignorant to what is coming, right? They're not ignorant that we are going to start waking up. They're not like ignorant to the fact that, you know, the ones coming into this world are going to be coming with, in a sense, they're going to be coming with something that's, in a sense, going to change the world, you know, because the thing about it is, they have their eyes more on the
like,
youth.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
because they're the ones that are going to come in and change it and
get them going early on that demonic vibration.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't, you know, even
in an acid state.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you know, they are babies are now having to take more vaccines than ever, you know, and I came across I think it's called charged charcoal, and I know that you know
Mm-hmm.
charged charcoal. It like what it does is it leaches off it leaches like minerals, precisely inorganic minerals, or minerals that aren't precisely supposed to be in your body. So you know I'm
Mm-hmm.
aware that like if you were to in a sense have had like no other choice but to get vaccinated, that if you were to you know of course like not eat nothing that day and then drink some water, and then after the vaccination go take some like charcoal and then take that like every 2 hours or so, then it'll help you know to this like take the leach. It'll literally leach the vaccines out of you, because the thing about it is the vaccines take time to settle, you know, it doesn't just go in and it's like boom, but it actually takes like a while to settle, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like, I mean,
Yeah,
of course,
to link into different proteins and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, you know. Let's talk about
Hmm.
vaccines, because that's that's something else.
Like
Damn.
another thing you're saying there with clearing out urine therapy would do that too. Have you read any about that?
Yes, a lot, you know, a lot. And it's like when, you know, when I started studying that and everything with me, I was just like, fuck. I was just like, fuck, because I was like, yo, this is like the only thing you need, literally. And it's like globally made. So then it's like, it's a waste product, you know. And on top of that, it's like, it's one of like, I guess number one, you can kind of say holotropic healing mechanism, you know, because it was like it was available to the poor, to the rich, everyone can use it, you know, and it was literally like, yeah, and it's like once people really were, if everyone was to start studying urine therapy and everything, then like because you know, the thing is like you know I've done fasts, I've like gone 6 days, you know, without food or nothing, just like urine, and that's it. And the thing about it is, it's like I started to like when I was in that state, I was just like not consuming nothing at all, just producing. Like I was creating so much, you know, and I was just thinking like, holy shit, like we literally don't need this
Huh.
system. Like it took what you need is within to a whole different level, you know, if that makes sense. I was just like,
Right.
damn.
Yeah,
Did you say you had
for
six?
sure.
Yeah, you have six house planets, huh?
That's
Yeah,
how.
but like just the outer planets,
Yeah.
And Neptune. Uranus and Neptune, and
In,
then
So
yeah.
six house.
in Aquarius, because that's alternative medicine then too. So like you keep healthy with alternative medicine.
Yeah, Uranus does good in the sixth house too, because it's the higher octave of Mercury, and Mercury rules and exalts the sixth house.
Hmm. Yeah, like
So that's like genius health stuff there.
yeah, exactly. Like one of the things I really want to do is like because you know I am ultimately, so I'm a Gemini, right? That's what I am. And I don't really precisely take labels, but because I do a lot of things, you know, like the jack of all trades and things like that. I do a lot, and um I guess I'm a psychic, but I feel like that in of itself is limiting. You know, that's the thing about labels, they're really limiting, you know. And one of the things I really do, like I've made workshops about the body, but like, you know, with me, I don't just talk about like the body from a like physical perspective, but you know, like I integrate in a sense the spiritual aspect of it too, you know. Like with the body, like a lot of people don't even know what their cells are, you know. And the thing about it is it's like humans are within this organism called Earth. The earth is an organism and we are the cells of it. And just as there's certain humans that have this capability and ability to talk to the earth, and the earth talk to us, we too in a sense have this ability to talk to ourselves, you know. And it's like we
Mm-hmm.
unconsciously talk to ourselves as well. Like, you know, I do this all the time now because I have that understanding. And it's like, and I'm always in commune with my body in general, because when you talk to your cells, you're talking to your organs, because organs are made up of cells, if that makes sense, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know, and like in my workshop, like these are the things I talk about and teach, like, you know, like the spiritual aspect of DNA, and all of these other things, you know, because it's like a lot of people don't really know this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's important to like give your self-talk and have it be positive
Oh, that's what you're saying. You're a Gemini, so you talk to yourself.
and to ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea. There's this plasma stuff we've been getting, and God, I forgot what I was gonna say. We get it from these immortal yogis. We met this cool guy in India, and he says he goes to these different caves and stuff. And he's saying one cave has got like these 8-inch tall people, and he goes there and he brings back all these medicines. And we got one of them. I forgot what it was. They look like this, anyways. One of them was to talk to your cells and to recode your cells. I thought that was a good one to have.
Yeah.
Something like that. It slipped me, but it was something like that.
But yeah, you know, I feel like it's like to talk to yourselves. I feel like, because you know, there's levels to this shit, and it's like they're all processes, and I feel like, to me at least, where I went through, and you know, because it's like there's a difference between like talking to something and then having dialogue with it, you know, like a back and forth with it, if you get what I mean. And it's like this is kind of like where people may get stuck with, in a sense, even your higher selves. Like, you want to connect with your higher self, right? So you start talking to it, but it doesn't talk back to you. But the thing is, it's technically talking back to you, but you're just not on the right frequency, you know. And it's like the more you practice, the more synchronized you become in that frequency, you know. Like me, literally, like I don't even have to talk to like aspects of my, you know. And it's also funny because now I'm starting, because like with me, like whenever I eat something, because for example, you know, I like, there was this one time when I was like, I went to the store and they had like seaweed, and I was like, that is so cool. So I was like buying a lot, and I would eat a lot of seaweed, right? And then one day, like, and then like as I ate this, like my kidney, like I would feel my kidney, right? And it'd be like major pain and things like that. And one day, you know, I read it and it was like, warning, this may cause cancer, because I guess like, you know, the water is dirty or some shit like that. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy. Because it was like innately I knew that the seaweed was bad for me,
Yeah.
but I went against it because I was like, but it's seaweed, you know. Uh,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, for me, like I find myself like hear something like, but then I do the thing, and later on, then I'm like, oh, I should listen to that other thing I
yeah,
heard.
just testing yourself.
Yeah.
Another thing I was thinking of a bit ago was the urine. Aged urine, particularly, has a magnetic charge and it pulls out things. So that would work too after vaccines if somebody had to, or just to pull things out. And then you're saying you had kidney problems, and we should do one of these where we do like share screen and look at your chart. And kidney problems is in the 7th house, and then urine therapy would be the antidote for that. But do you have anything in the 7th house or Libra?
well, my seventh
You
house
people
is
usually
actually
have.
in Pisces,
Okay.
and
Oh yeah, same
oh
as hers.
yeah, oh that's
Virgo
cool.
ascendant.
Yeah.
Then and then Libra is in the 2nd house technically. So I wouldn't precisely say I have kidney problems. I'd just say like when I was eating
Oh, just
you know,
getting
the
pain that one
seaweed.
time.
Yeah, like when I was eating the seaweed, I would like have major like
Wow.
stress on my like kidney, and it was because maybe
Wow.
it was bad, you know, like it wasn't good.
Huh.
And you know, my friend, she was like telling me like, wow, that's crazy that you're
Something
so
like
in, like she was like, that's crazy that you're so in tune with your body. And I was thinking like, wait, I thought everyone can in a sense feel when there's something wrong with their organs. But I mean, it makes sense, you know, because it's like the thing about
well,
going
some
back to all, huh? But
some people have babies and they don't even know. Some people have toilet babies that didn't even know they were pregnant.
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was gonna say, like, because the other thing about allotropic medicine is it literally numbs your body, because that's, you know, that's in a sense the business, right? Like if like kind of
Yeah.
try to back it up as much as you possibly can until like the end result is death. Technically, like you go to a doctor, they give you a medicine, a pill, you take that pill, it suppresses the symptoms, but the but the problem is still there, right? And it's kind of like it's kind of like, you
Yeah.
know, going to a technician to get your car fixed, but all the technician does is he technically just takes off the light that's telling you that there's something wrong, and now he's like it's fixed, but in actuality all that's gone is the light, you know, and there's still something wrong with the car, but you don't know there's something wrong with the car because there's nothing telling you that there's something wrong with the car, you know. And that's the same with like painkillers, for example. And it's like, honestly, the reality of it is there are certain places where it can be helpful, like surgeons to a degree, but then on top of that, it's like
For
we
sure.
have these like, it's like, yes, this is true, but then on top of it, it's like, if we were honestly, like, if we were to truly be free and integrate into our gifts and our birthrights, then we wouldn't need a surgeon because we would
Yeah.
understand energy, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
because
crazy.
like with the surgeons, I can see it in some like extreme cases, but even in that, they're still cutting those energetic lines when they're doing surgery, and
Yeah, that's like,
that's not
I
good.
think the only reason that the allopathic business is still up because it works a little bit sometimes. If it didn't work at all, nobody would go. But it's, you know, sometimes you save a life or two, or but in the age of deception, you can go a long ways with just helping a tiny bit.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy you said that. Right, it's funny. Like I think it's the Cancer Fighting Center or something like that. You know, they talk about like, yeah, we've been fighting cancer for like 200 years now, and it's like, what? Like 200 years and you still haven't found a cure? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
God, and there's so many of them too. They say like even just you have enough dandelions, which are
yeah,
growing in everyone's lawn. There's so many cures.
right, and
But
it is really
people, they're just so confused. So confused.
exactly, and
Yeah.
it's sad too because I remember I made this post, right, and I was you know, technically I think the opening was like doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy
Oh
law,
yeah.
you know,
Yes, dude.
universities corrupt knowledge in a sense, and this and that, you know. And I went on so forth and so on. And, you know, I went on explaining about the medical industry, right? And then this chick, she commented, she was like, "You can't heal nothing with that hocus pocus stuff." And I was just like, "What the fuck?" You know, that's the thing with people too. They're like, they don't understand it, like. And I was
Yeah,
just
and I
like,
wonder if it
"Yo."
wouldn't even work. I wonder if it wouldn't even work for the people that don't believe in it, because you kind of have to like know in your mind that it's gonna help for it to help, maybe.
The
Somewhat. It's
placebo
part of it.
effect,
It's
right?
like
Part
20,
of it.
20%.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta work with it. Yeah. It has to, because it's the age of unconsciousness.
Yeah. I
They're
see.
just kind of walking around automated with, which is going to be great. It's funny, we're from the unconscious sign to Aquarius, the conscious sign. And more because it was a water sign,
Hmm.
and water's war. The word is war and water, and Mars rules the water triplicities also.
Yeah, so there'll be less and less war. Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And less deception. And it's gonna be
Fusion.
good.
Yeah, you know, the last war is not, it's not gonna be, the last war is not gonna be World War III, you know, but I really do feel like there is a last war, if you get what I mean, but it's gonna be like, um, it's gonna be like, well, I don't know if it's gonna be a war, but from a like spiritual, energetic perspective, in the sense of like people choosing to take back their power, right? Because I feel like that's the only thing that's really missing, you know, because it's like people know that they have power, but no one is really going about taking it, you know. And I feel like one of the things we are really gonna have to let go of is the fear of death, you know. Like me myself, you know, I've died, and I don't know if you've seen my video on my near death experience, you know, but after dying and having come back, and you know, there was a stage in my life where I was like, I didn't really know if I was dead and was like in a different dimension, or if I was still alive and yada yada yada. But I feel like, because what that really taught me was, because I had a near death experience, so I realized that this isn't the end, and like a lot of people are afraid of that, and since the religion, it kind of programs you to be afraid of that, with hell, with heaven. And that's another thing is, it's like people wouldn't believe in religion also had they not been indoctrinated into the belief that enough is in, like, just enough is okay, like just enough is the prize, like just enough is the reward, because it's like our conception has been limited, if you get what I mean. Like, we are so expansive, but because we are kept in this box of logic, this box of, yeah, like logic. That's because a cube in a sense is logic. It's like, in a sense, Saturn, if that makes sense. They
Mm-hmm.
use that Saturn energy a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they put that box on your head when you graduate.
And it's a black box.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, like, what's up with that? Why isn't anyone asking? Like, what? Oh, it's just a tradition. I don't want to put that black box on my head. What's the point? Why is it a black square? Where did this start? It looks like such a fool on graduation day, or like part of a cult. Like, where's your
Right.
own free will? Why are you guys being manipulated to wear this black gowns and whatnot?
Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing too. But it's like a lot of it's sad because when I was going to school, my senior year, everyone was like so stressed and depressed about like tests, about getting things done. Some people were crying about it, and me, I was just like sitting back, and just like giving a fuck. Like, I was that kid who would literally take my laptop to school, and I was like studying the Hermetic principles, right, in school. And I remember one day my teacher came and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Just some stuff." And he looked at it, and then we had an assistant teacher as well, and he went back, and I was just doing my thing, and I heard them kind of talking about me, and he was like, he called the Hermetic principles stupid. He was like, he said something about me looking into some like dumb stuff or something. And I'm just like, God, God, like,
Yeah, they just
dang,
don't
like,
they don't understand it.
They're way different
yeah,
than you. You've got Uranus and Aquarius. These guys got just complete different. They got different computer, different macrocosm. I feel like sometimes we'll never be able to connect with that generation. But wow, that's
right,
crazy. And all along, their stuff is completely wrong.
right, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, only if you knew, right? Like, they're judging it, but it was like only if they knew. But on top of that, it's funny because while I was going to school, there were like a plethora of times when, like, for example, in government school, right? There was a lot of times when my teacher, he would like even it wasn't like he was lying, but he was speaking stuff about the books that was a lie. He was like for example, there was this one time, and honestly, I forget exactly how I went about it, but it's talking about justice and equality and how there were certain laws and things like that, this is that. And I think I brought up the 13th Amendment or something like that, but it was funny because he was talking about this one thing. Oh, right. He was talking about how like people are sent to prison because it's justice. But then, I was telling him about how, like, I forget, if I'm not sure if it was the 13th Amendment or not, but I was explaining to him how, like, after they had freed the slaves and things of that nature, technically the prisons were the plantations, and to this day, like, they still are, and they like send people to the prisons, and those people, they're literally working, like, McDonald's and every other, like, in a sense, fast food place, like Walmart and all these places, they get most of their stuff from factory prisons. Like, these prisoners are made to work, and they're working, building these things, and it's like it's modern slavery happening, but people just don't realize. And I don't know, I think I explained something like that to him, but it was just like, And then, there were so many other scenarios, and that's kind of like, because me, in the beginning, I was interested, and like I was the kid who would always ask questions, and it was funny because kids thought I was smart, and I guess I am smart for asking questions, like, because no one, literally, like in my classroom, everyone was just like taking notes, but I was the one asking, because it's like
Downloading.
exactly, like that's what's going on when you're just taking notes. You're literally downloading, right? But it's like when you're the observer, then you're observing, like it's not a part of you. And then at one place I was like, this is just useless, and I was just like, I'm done, and I just started studying my own thing, if you get what I mean. And I remember, like, I would also ditch school and like go to the mountains, and I would be like, this is insane, like, because I would ditch school, go to the mountains, and I would like read books, but on top of that, I would like just in general spend time in nature and like talk to bugs, because that's the thing, and this and that, and even talk to the mountain. And I was just like, I would leave and I'd be so satisfied because I learned so much more than I could have in school, and I'd be like, this is crazy, right? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is one